Back to your family, what about your siblings? What influence, if any, did they have on you?
I had three brothers, and my oldest brother, Dan, was just the most, he now is a manager in a nuclear facility in South Carolina. But he was one of them. I said that the teachers told him that he wasn't going to be prepared for college. And I remember how hard academics were for my brother, because they had convinced him that he was not bright, right? They just said, he's really on the dull side. And it wasn't until he went away to college that he found out he was smarter than almost everybody. And so Dan was a nature lover, and he taught me to love nature. In the Bronx, we had chickens. Oh, I don't know how the neighbors stood us. We had a snake, which got away, and an alligator, and he just loved nature, and he always made sure that he's 2 years older than me, that I was involved in nature and those kinds of things. My second brother, John, was just a phenomenal athlete, and he taught me something about talent, which I believe that everybody has potential. But it's not easy for everybody to realize what their talent is, and their talent might be very different. John was an absolutely phenomenal athlete and started playing with the older kids, the 17, 18-year-olds, when he was 9 and 10. I could barely play with the 8, 9-year-olds, and he was playing with kids who were almost grown and was a star. And it was just, he was talented, he worked hard at it, he loved it. He died when I was a sophomore. He was in the Air Force and died, and it wasn't war-related. He died of overdose. And he didn't really even use drugs. He took some barbiturates and drank, and he just passed out in his sleep and died. But he did teach me something about talent, and he had it, and I understood that all of us have talents, and you have to really figure out what your talent is.
And the next sibling?
My youngest brother, Reuben, is just an absolute genius with his mind and hands, and can put together anything and take apart anything. And he was the first one to actually teach me anything about math, because we used to learn these mathematical formulas that were totally meaningless, numbers that ran on and on. And Reuben started working in radar and defense. And all of those numbers meant something to them. They were really using, I think, tools which had such specificity that you had to measure things to them. So he brought math alive to me, and I think allowed all of us to understand why I think these subjects really were important, because if you didn't learn them, it cut off these careers for you. And I actually have never had to figure out the third side of a triangle, or how many degrees were in, an obtuse triangle. I've never had to use any of that stuff. He used that stuff every day. And so he could have a career. I had to learn it and then forget it, but he actually used it and helped us understand and appreciate math.